Yo, what's good, everyone? It's your boy, the best in the world of what I do, your boy Meech, and you're tuning in to another episode of Space to Place podcast. Joining me, as always, are my two co-hosts, Sammy and Tabby 2B. How are we feeling on this Saturday night?
Pretty good. Did some
Great,
run around.
great.
Took a niece school shopping. Now I'm home about to do the podcast and then gonna eat something good.
That's what's up. As always, we appreciate those who continue to show support to the podcast. Make sure you guys continue to show support on TikTok, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. Make sure to check everything out. Check the YouTube shorts as well. Everything and anything is truly greatly appreciated when it comes to the podcast. Like I said, we always appreciate when you guys show support, especially since we're already like halfway through the year in. It's crazy. But yeah, we're gonna go get right into this. It's definitely I wouldn't say trending topic, but it's definitely a topic within a certain community. If you're a fan of the group BTS, which I'll let Tabby 2B explain the debacle and the controversy surrounding them.
All right. Hey, everyone. So I kind of want to segue us into whether we can separate the art from the artist. Can we separate the art from the artist? Two members of BTS, they went to a Chris Brown concert. They're currently on their own world tour, but they had a little bit of a break. So they were invited by Usher to go to the R&B tour. The R&B tour is with Usher and Chris Brown. Now, the problem is we know Chris Brown has quite a problematic history. You know, we've seen it with Rihanna. If you've been following him through his career, you know he has a problematic past. Now, fans of BTS kind of looked at that sideways, and there was a little upset, mainly on Twitter. I mean, in parts of social media, but we know social media does tend to be just noise and doesn't really give too much, an effect on in real life. But it was a conversation, and fans were kind of disappointed if they were going to say anything about why they went. And yeah, so really it just brought the conversation. Can one separate the art from the artist? As problematic as Chris Brown has been or is currently to most people, he is a pretty prominent figure in R&B as a male artist, black male artist. Some would say Usher, he has some problematic ways as well. Some people call him out on how his relationship with Justin Bieber has been, his close ties to Diddy. So really, as fans of the two gentlemen, or in the case of BTS, who are fans as well, and their fans' issues is really, can one separate the art from the artist? Does you go into their concert mean you support them in their past transgressions or current transgressions? Because Chris Brown is kind of scheduled for something, and I don't know if he's going to jail in October, but they added more tour dates to the R&B tour. So yeah, that's really what the topic is tonight. Can you separate the art from the artist? Does you going and supporting them, going to their shows mean you support them in all that they've done? Any thoughts? Or any artist in general, but yeah.
All right. Can you separate the art from the artist? In this situation, when it pertains to BTS, I feel like, I'm not gonna lie, I do feel like the fans are kind of being like a little unfair to them. If they were invited by these guys, who are they to say no? You know what I'm saying? Like, they're invited to go to the concert by Usher and Chris Brown, whichever or invited them. They're like, okay, all right, let's go ahead. You know what I'm saying? They're not thinking much of it. They probably obviously know of the two, Chris Brown definitely has a past. Of course, Usher does as well, or like, people kind of give him a little side eye too, but it's mostly pertaining to Chris Brown, obviously, because that brother has a past and it hasn't gone away. So for the fans to get mad at BTS, I'm not gonna lie, y'all look a little crazy. Them brothers got invited. They not on stage with them. They just in the arena, just like everybody else, as a fan who enjoys music. You feel me? That's like that's literally all it is. And I checked on Twitter a little bit just to see what the fans are in the armies as they call themselves, what they're saying, and it's kind of like y'all kind of just picking at straws at this point, bro. Like y'all doing a little too much. Just because I go to a concert, right? Does that mean I support everything that artist has done or did in their lives? No, I don't know that person. I just know them by their music. And I'm gonna give myself an example. I'm out of the three of us, I'm probably the biggest Kanye fan here. Has Kanye said some crazy stuff? Yes, he has.
Absolutely.
I'm not even gonna sit here in front and say that he hasn't. From the slavery is a choice thing to the Nazi
Oh my
stuff,
gosh,
to
I
the
can't even. Oh,
to like, you know what I'm saying, like being with the Kardashians. I don't like. Hey, look, let that brother live his life. He a grown man. But does that mean I'm gonna be like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, just because he's doing this, that doesn't mean I can't enjoy his music. No, I don't think it pertains to that, because he's one of my favorite artists of all time, just in general. The brother made Graduation. I'm gonna bump Graduation till the wheels fall off. He has one of the greatest discographies in hip hop ever. Whatever he does outside of music, that's on him. He a grown man. That doesn't affect the way I see his art and how I view his art that stands the test of time. Now, that's just one example where I can sit here and say you could separate the art from the artist. Now, on the other hand, when the music is also affected by the artist's actions, that's where you can't separate the art from the artist. And I think we all know who we're going with. I ain't going to say his name, so you already know, Mr. Nasty Man. We're not going to call him by his name. Mr. Nasty Man, we all know who that is. Hey, I'm not gonna lie. I do look at you with a slight if you do listen to his music still, because it's like, brother, you know he made that. Now that everything is out in the open, you do realize he was talking about underage girls, right? You do trapped in the closet? No, you can't get me with that. I'm sorry. Nah, you will get looked at with a bombastic side eye. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro.
Bumblecard!
Like, yeah, no, I'm not. Mr. Nasty Man, you can't separate. That's one of the instances where you cannot separate the art from the artist. I'm sorry. And I know there's a lot of people who are fans of Nasty Man. He might be in your top 3, top 5 R&B singers all time. I can't get with that. That's just me. Because once you find out what you're really talking about in that music and all the actions are starting to come out into the open, we remember that Surviving R. Kelly documentary. Is this camera on me? Use your common sense. Like, brother, you were guilty and you tried to gaslight everybody. Stupid, guys. I'm fighting for my life. What do you mean? Brother, they caught you. So, hey, if y'all got Mr. Nasty Man in your playlist in the year 2026, charge it to the game. That's on you. You do what you gotta do. Just know that, hey, hey, you know what? Hold up. Just know you're getting the most bombastic side eye from me. But that's all I have to say on
what do you
that
think,
part.
Sam? What do you think?
I think back to the main question. Yes, it just is case by case in my opinion. Like Dimitri was saying, like it depends. It depends. Like you can't blanket that overall artist. It really depends on their actions on and off the court, so to speak. Because your extracurriculars will get you dropped like a bad habit. You know what I'm saying? As an artist, can't condone any of that. But depending on the person and what it is, if they just said some wild remarks, depending on those remarks, then we can forgive that. But this whole Chris Brown BTS, I don't think it's that big a deal. I think it's being blown out of proportion, in my opinion. It's it's just what it is. Don't make it something that it's not. It's like it yeah, I don't know. I don't have the words at the moment. But yeah, it's just too much. It's too much. It's not needed.
I'll say for me, being that I, K-pop fan, BTS fan for so many years, they have a different way of how they treat their idols and artists. It's a real parasocial thing. And so they expect this real clean image that over time, it kind of once the people get older, it kind of fades away and the fans kind of freak out. And I think what kind of hurts BTS is that they had this boyfriend clean image. They were UNICEF ambassadors with their music. A lot of people turn to their music to be like, "Oh, this saved me. Their music saved me." And it's predominantly a female audience. So you a female, that's kind of the mindset you have, and you see them posted up at the Chris Brown concert. You might feel some type of way. Oh, he's an abuser. You support this, blah blah. Do I agree? No, personally, because it's never that parasocial behind anyone. Like what you do at your off time is your business. But for some of the fans, it did kind of sting. And it's like, well, your music tells us to stand up for ourselves, and you read this feminist literature, but you at the Chris Brown concert, and it's just like, well, that's
Were
true. You
they
can be
were they at a Chris Brown concert or at a concert Chris Brown happened to be performing at?
it's a combination. It's the R&B concert. Usher invited them because one of the members, the youngest member, Jungkook, he had a collaboration with Usher about 3 years ago for his solo career. So I'm sure it's like an industry thing they had going on. So, and then let me just put it out there. We all know K-pop is literally, what is it? What is the word I'm looking for? Based off Black music. So naturally, why wouldn't they go to the concert to artists they listened to growing up? Like K-pop is just a copy of Black music in Korean. Like there's no arguing that. So to me, it makes sense that they would go to these artists that they listen to, been inspired by. Aside from Chris Brown's actions, like, come on, like it's so many videos of them dancing to Usher, Chris Brown, Kendrick, Drake, all that. So to me, it's not. I don't think it's that bad, but I understand why when you've been UNICEF ambassadors, your music has been, catering to the female demographic. And, with the whole idol system, it's very parasocial. So I'm not going to say I don't get the upset, but the way people are dragging it out, oh, they got to make a statement. I'm like, no, those are grown men.
Making a
They came
statement is
back from their
crazy.
mandatory
Just because I got
2-year
invited to a
service.
concert. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
Like
insane.
they're grown men. They're like almost all the members are in their 30s, except for the youngest member. They came back from a mandatory 2-year military service. They're back on tour after 4 years. They want to enjoy this tour. And the fans is over there freaking out, demanding some type of apology or whatnot, which is crazy because that's usually behavior you expect from their fan base over like in Korea, because that's kind of the main base they cater to with the whole parasocial clean image thing. But it's international fans or Western fans that are kind of taking that, and it's like, fam, what are you talking about? Over here, we don't care about that mess. So it's just the K-pop system is just different from how artists move in the West. But I don't think they were wrong going to the concert because maybe I'm biased because my best friend, she's like, Tab, let's go to the concert. And I did have to sit and think. I'm like, I love Usher down. Before K-pop, before anything, I've been an Usher stan 4 years. Early Chris Brown too, because millennials, we saw him grow up, and then we saw the Rihanna incident, and I'm like, oh, like if you was there and you saw that, you know how bad it was. So I don't blame no one for having any reservations about going, but I don't think just because you go, you supporting him. But I am. Yeah. Go ahead, Sam.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say, I was gonna add on to what you were saying. I think we're, as a society, as a world, we're a little too close to celebrities.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like back in the day, you didn't know a man and woman was beefing in their personal life until 10 years later in the interview, in the documentary or something.
Oh
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
he used to beat her down the street,
Oh my
like
goodness.
type of, type of thing. Like, you didn't find that out until 10 years, 15, 20 years later in the documentary. Like, yeah, he put his hands on women for real. Not just one of them, all of them. Like, that's something you would learn later on. I think in today's world, we're really close to the celebrities, or not, relatively, we're close to the celebrities. Like, you're following all their social medias. It's, we're very close, and people think that, like, it's like almost like, since they're so close, they don't want the people they support and love to be part of something they think isn't part of them, or something they agree with. Like, oh, how dare they go, even though this other person has done this, that, or other thing. Like, I
I'm
would
about to
never.
say
Like,
it's kind of like, at least for BTS, for the fans, the international fans. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of picking and choosing, in my opinion. Like, you telling them they want us, you telling them to make a statement for being invited to a concert. Hold up, brother, what? You telling me I have to go? My group has to make a statement for being invited to a concert that is that two of probably the biggest R&B acts within the past 25 years. They're going on tour together. First time ever, I assume, I think. And they're just playing their hits. And we get invited? What you mean I'm not going to go? Like, you expect us not to go? Especially when the influence of Usher and Chris Brown are quite obvious if you're in the K-pop scene of BTS. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Tab said, K-pop is literally Korean black music. So, I mean, if they look up to these guys or have been influenced by these guys and they offer to invite them, why not let them go? Whatever Chris Brown has done in his past or is currently dealing with, and whatever Usher has done in his past or what he's currently dealing with, does not have any sort of correlation with BTS. They're the squeaky clean, you know what I'm saying? We wouldn't even think of doing what the people in the West do. They just got invited. That's it. So I do feel as though people like to pick and choose when it comes to who they want to support and who people shouldn't support, quote unquote. Like, look, I'm a Future fan. If I go to a Future concert, or if I get invited out to a Future concert, you gonna be right there. I'm gonna be singing every single lyric. Does that mean I support everything that Future does and his actions of having multiple baby mamas and, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, I don't support that. That's Future. That's him. He a grown man. I'm gonna be in the audience, turned up, lit, you know what I'm saying, singing the lyrics word for word, blah, 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 blah. But his actions don't affect me. Or his actions haven't gotten to the point where, like, yeah, bro, I can't go ahead and I can't support you no more, Hendrix. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? And I know people be like, oh, but you're a Kanye fan. Yeah. Kanye, I will admit, been off his rocker for the past couple of years. Ever since that slavery was a choice thing. If I understand, if people wanted to stop supporting him right there, that's fine. That's fine. But I'm able to separate the art from the artist because nothing in his art, past, pre that, was ever like, okay, you talking about black people this type of way in your music, or blase, blase, blah. You're using Nazi quota in your music, blase, blase, blah. Those are instances where you can separate the art from the artist. And Kanye is one of those people where it's like, you can separate it, but you can understand why people are like, I don't know, bro. Ever since he said that, and afterwards, I've been looking at him with a bombastic side eye. I understand that. So that might be one of those instances where it's like, you can, but you know what I'm saying? And then there are cases where you can't separate the art from the artist. Mr. Nasty Man that we just mentioned not too long ago, I'm sorry. he can be, like I say, he could be in your top 3, top 5 all time. But you not with everything that we know about him, you know what I'm saying? You can't tell me you can separate the art from the artist with him, because we now know who he was talking about in them songs. So if you, I don't know, people who, and we know that man has fans. I don't know how, even with all the information that came out over the past couple of years about him and his actions over the past 25, 30 years, you know what I'm saying? People still, they want to support Nasty Man. And hey, more power to you. I just hope you don't have no type of women in your life, no daughters, no nothing, bro, because you clearly don't respect women if you are still a fan of Nasty Man in the year 2026. That's just me. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't know who Nasty Man is, hey, better figure it out, brother. His name will not be mentioned on this pod. His name will not be mentioned on this podcast. I hope you know that.
I think what sucks so bad about the whole separating the art from the artist is that a lot of these artists, male artists, and sometimes the female ones, they're such prominent figures in music, and it's like, yo, you made these songs that we associate with good times and memories. Like, I could think back on, when Kanye first came out. He went crazy when he dropped. And it's like, that slavery is a choice thing. I stopped listening to that man when that came out of his mouth. And it's been like, what?
8 years?
8 years.
About 8 years?
Just recently, just because they play music out loud at work, started listening to Kanye. Because I was real serious about that. Because you as a Black American man saying that, fixing your mouth to say that, I had to drop you for that. I had to. So I'm not going to say I don't understand why certain people, they don't rock with Chris Brown, or I don't understand why some of the Army fans or BTS fans, they were upset about it. Now, do I think some people have gone overboard? Absolutely. But I understand why. But some of these their artists, they're such prominent, like, parts of our lives. Like Chris Brown, when he came out, me and my little friend group went crazy over him. Oh my gosh. And I mean, when that Rihanna incident happened, every brand deal was snatched. I remember he had a Sprite one snatched off immediately. Like he was done. I didn't know how he was gonna come back. And then that following year, he came back for the BET Awards and then broke down on stage. And at least the Black folks, Black community, kind of, let's forgive him. Blah, blah, blah. But I mean, after that, he kind of had he was still, causing trouble down the way. Even up to like what? To today. So it's just like, dang, man. You got good music, but I don't know.
I get what you're saying, because sometimes supporting them in their careers feels like supporting them personally.
Like, especially with Black artists. Let's just rip the Band-Aid off. With Black artists specifically, at least I feel that way. Like, you want to see them win, but when you out here messing up consistently like that, like, come on, bro.
On a side note, too, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know how that brother recovered from that Rihanna incident. I'm not gonna lie, because if that happened today, boy, they would have had that boy. Ooh,
my God, yeah, man. That
2009 was a different time, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
I'll say that. 2009 was a different time, because if you did that in the year of 2026 with all these movements, oh yeah, hey, brother, you would not have been able to leave your house. You would have had to go underground or something, because hey, you would have been in jail the next day, brother. The next day you would have been in jail. So hey, different time, and that's not saying I'm defending what he did. No, what he did in 2009 was crazy. Like, that had the whole world like, yo, we hate you, Breezy. Like, that was the first time I've seen people like universally like dislike an artist like that.
Yeah, that was like the first time in media for me where I saw something of that magnitude. Like, VH1 used to play the what was it? The little I love the 80s, these little series where they would document like older celebrities and their past things and how they still had a career. But Chris Brown was like really the first time I real deal saw something like that and someone
Like in
literally
around the same time frame too. Like, yeah.
yeah, in real time seeing that. So the fact that he was able to come back from that, and it was during the year that Michael Jackson tribute, because it had been, was it almost a year or a little over a year since Michael Jackson had passed. So I guess the combination of that, him coming out, like he broke down and people, kind of rallied around him. But and then he came out with like Deuces afterwards, and his music went crazy. But then, he kept getting caught up in some mess. So I don't know. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Different time, ladies and gentlemen. So it's like there are instances where you can separate the art from the artist, and then there are instances where you can't separate the art from the artist. I will always say that as it pertains to BTS and like being invited, they're those fellas are grown men. They can do what they want. They did their mandatory service for their country. They're back on tour for the first time in 4 years, like you said, Tab. They're allowed to do it. You know what I'm saying? They're allowed to enjoy life. Whether the army the army supports them for going on this going to the concert or not, they can feel how they feel. At the end of the day, these are people. I think fan bases don't understand that these are actual human beings. I think that's what gets lost in transition. Like, yes, these are artists, but at the end of the day, they all have their own individuality. Their own autonomy. They're humans, just like me, Sam, and you. They're all humans. They enjoy music just like the rest of us. They enjoy certain things like the rest of us. They dislike certain things like the rest of us. So for y'all to always hold them to this pedestal the way y'all do is crazy. And it's not even the Korean fans. It's the international fans. Like, brother, like, who are y'all? First of all, like, more love. Y'all act like them going to this concert was like went against everything that they support in their or they talk about in their music. Whatever Breezy and Usher have done in their past, that's a reflection of them, not BTS. Because if you want to sit here and say, oh, if you go to this concert, you support this problematic artist, and you support them through thin and thin, you can say that about every single concert every person has gone to. You can say that about Michael Jackson during the time when he was going through his allegations. And like people are like, oh, if you support him still, then you support him being a pedophile X, Y, and Z. Or if you support R. Kelly, then you support him doing this to God, I said his name. Good God. If you support Nasty Man, then you support him doing X, Y, and Z. Jay-Z and his scandal, or her scandals that we probably don't know. Like any artist you can name, like, you feel me? And it's not even just artists. It could be athletes, professional talk show hosts. Like, you can nitpick any person's like personal past and be like, oh, they did X, Y, and Z, but you still support them. You are just as bad as them. I don't like that. I don't like that philosophy at all, because that's kind of crazy. Just because, for example, like Tab said, it took Tab years to come back to listen to Kanye, because that whole slavery was a choice thing was like, yo, you talking out the side of your neck, you crazy? Like, as a black man, you talking crazy like that. Me personally, I just looked at it as like, hey, that brother said what he said, I don't support it, but I'm gonna listen to this Life of Pablo, you feel me? So I just like, I was able to separate it. Now
I think it depends on what you enjoy. Me personally, I love Black history. I'm real big about Black American history, and so hearing a Black man say that, I couldn't rock with that. Now, I wasn't going around telling people you're this and you're that. If you still support them, I'm not doing that. But I know for me and my love for Black history and my people, I had to let that go.
And that's not to say that And for people, and not to cut you off, I didn't, just because I continue listening to Ye after that doesn't mean I condone what he said. That was crazy even back then, and it's still crazy now. Like, all right, bro, we that still was crazy. Like, it was a choice of what, being enslaved. Yeah, brother, I don't know. You. That was when I was like, yeah, that brother's off the deep end. I gave him a couple years of grace before, but that right there, I don't know. And it was around the time of, what was it, Trump and Hillary, and trying to, whoever was going to lead us in the country that time, and
Yeah, man.
political divide at that time. It was like, all right, bro. And then you say this, all right,
But it's
come
also
on.
the influence too, especially if we're going back to like the BTS, them attending the concert. It's also the influence that these individuals have. Kanye saying that and the influence that he has, regardless of the man's canceled and people don't work with him, that man has influence, a crazy reach. BTS themselves with their fan base, they do have, a crazy reach in terms of what the ARMY fan base can do in terms of like the fan voting, donations, and being known for riding for their group. And that's with any major fan base, or any major artist, you say something or you do something, there's that influence that you have, even if it's on your personal time. So I guess that could be another ring, like why people are, you go to this thing or you do this, you support this. It's just the influence all these artists have, whether international, Western artists, and whatnot.
Yeah, tell us in the comments what y'all think, y'all. Like, can you
I'm
separate
not.
or no?
I ain't gonna lie. That what Tab said about that whole influence thing. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I don't buy that at all. If you that so like caught up with an artist that you can't think for yourself, I don't know, bro. You just weak minded, in my opinion.
But I mean, we
That is
can't
kind of.
dismiss that though, because the parasocialism is crazy. Like people wrote down for Kanye even after he said that, even after the whole, what is it? Didn't he say something about the Holocaust?
He
Like
said
people
something
still wrote
about
for him.
Jews and the Nazis and
Yeah,
whatnot.
people still wrote for him. Like these people still ride for Mr. Nasty Man. People still ride for Diddy.
Exactly, and they're weak minded. So I feel
So I
like
mean, we can't dismiss the whole parasocialism or people following these folks because of the influence they have. I mean, I don't do it because there's not one person, not one celebrity that I follow that is gonna make me do anything like that. There's not one. But for some folks, especially in these times with how parasocial folks are, how close things are due to social media, they will ride for their fave regardless. So that influence is something.
Yeah, that is true. I just think those people are weak-minded. That's just my opinion, ladies and gentlemen. If you can't think for yourself without this artist saying or doing something, it kind of says a little bit about your character. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna dive deep into that, but that's just me. But yeah, I think the what is it? The army, the BTS army, y'all are kind of like overreacting. BTS is a group of grown men. They're allowed to go to whatever concert they want to enjoy. I don't think that has a reflection on their actions or their music. Like I said, you can look at Usher and Chris Brown with a slight, but BTS, the squeaky clean group that they've been known for what, the past 10 to 15 years, that's not a reflection of them. They just like the music. And I think people get that lost in transition. Like, people can enjoy the music without supporting whatever bad things the artists have done in the past or whatever wild things they've said in the past. Now, does it get, like I said, you can't, there are instances where you can, and there are instances where you can't separate the art from the artist. My thing is this: if the art reflects, if there's something in the art that reflects the actions of the character and they coexist or they collide, we getting you up out of here, brother. Not gonna lie to you. So that's why, Mr. Nasty Man, not gonna lie to you, brother. You gonna have to go ahead. You
are a grown ass man.
That's what somebody should have said to him all them years ago when he was going to them high schools. But, you know, influence is something, I guess. So, but yeah, that's just me. So, what do y'all think? Can you separate the art from the artist? Do y'all think the Army was overreacting to BTS going to the Chris Brown and Usher concert? Are there instances where you can separate the art from the artist, or you can't? How would you feel if somebody labeled you as such because you went to a concert of an artist that you enjoy their music, but you don't necessarily support their actions? Let us know what y'all think. Get a discussion going in the comments, and the YouTube and the Spotify and the Apple Podcasts as well, especially in the TikTok as well. Other than that, we appreciate you guys for tuning in and listening to Space the Place podcast as always with my co-host Sammy Yeager and Tabby 2B. This was a fun discussion. Definitely enjoyed it. Let us know what you guys think about this whole separate the art from the artist conversation. Can you or can you? Are there instances where you can and can't? Let us know. Let us know what y'all think. Get a conversation started in the comments down below. As always, it's your boy Meech, Sammy Yeager, Tabby 2B. We'll catch you guys next episode. Peace, love, and positivity as always, and God bless.